mission channel for the build challenge in my Discord server and vote for the vehicles that
Alright, hello, hello, hello. You guys have to let me know how the music is. So, there is a build challenge from Bigman. I won't go ahead and play the video because sometimes YouTube likes to kick the live if you do somebody else's video. So, see if I can get the document really quick. So, you can go ahead and check that out. There's a video on Bigman's channel talking about the challenge. Let's see if I can pull up the doc here. Oh, there it is right there. Okay. Oh, it opens up in Word. Good lord. Let me open this up. See, we'll read through the rules here. If I can get the document to open up here correctly. As I like to follow the rules, as I do these challenges as well, it's important to follow the rules so you don't get surprised. Alright, so... Oh my god, Microsoft, just go away. No, we're not running diagnostic tests. We're not doing all this crap. Just let me read this message, you scum. Alright, here we go. Alright, so we have the document here. Can't hear the music. Can you hear everything else alright though? It should be running fine here. Let me look. I'm curious why my screen hasn't changed yet, but we have the Hot Hatch Challenge. Rules: engine no XML performance on engine parts. Maximum cylinder count is 3. 1x1 cylinders. Maximum 2 electric motors for drivetrain. However, more can be used to drive pumps, etc. Wheel grip can be XML'd up to a value of 2, max 4 wheels. 2-wheel, 4-wheel, all-wheel drive allowed. Engine does not need to be mounted in front. Car body maximum dimensions, 8 wide, 18 blocks in length, no height limit. Seats 4 or more. So I wonder if that's is a requirement to have 4. So we'll go with 4. Must have operating doors, etc. Other rules: XML editing only for visual or tire grip as stated. No performance XML. No glitches. Judging cars will be judged on aesthetics 1 to 10, general driving 1 to 10, quarter-mile drag time and hot lap around Sausalito circuit. Quarter-mile and hot laps will be distributed as points 1 through 5. Top 5 vehicles as voted in my Discord server will be submitted into the challenge. The challenge goes until the 11th of August at 12. Is that New Zealand standard? I think so. I'm not sure. Global live timer will be linked in the Discord challenge announcement. Feel free to ask for clarifications. Okay, good. So, let me see if I can force close on Word because it's being obnoxious. This is why nobody uses Word. They're Microsoft. So I'm gonna have to force close Word because I can't get rid of it regular. Because it wants me to set it up and I don't use it, so. Let me see if I can kill Word here. There it is. It's jumping all around. Stop jumping around. Oh my god, stop jumping around. It's being obnoxious, jumping around too. Where are we at here? Just trying to kill Word here. Take me a second because Microsoft's trying to have me install everything instead of being able to open this right in Google like I should be able to. So, there's Microsoft Word right there. End task. Bingo. Causing me problems. We'll just end the task there. Think they're going to get me to set that up? I don't think so. Yeah, I haven't put up the announcement yet. I just saw this right now, so I'll thanks for letting me know. I'm going to quickly put that in Discord. Then I'm starting the stream. How can you hear the music there, Citrus? Let me quickly put up an announcement here. I can't navigate my own Discord now. What the hell's going on with my brain? It's early. I just got up, so it's early for me. Oh my god, where is it? Announcements right there. My god, my brain, my poor withered brain at this point. Alright, so those just joining, Bigman has started a challenge. I've participated in his before. The challenge is to make a hot hatch. Just read out the rules. I'll put a link to the video Bigman put out. And, you know, the more the merrier, certainly, on these types of things. I always like the more people who can participate is good. So let me just get that going. Alright, so... Alright, thank you, Citrus, for reminding me. I posted a couple messages. Let me find the Bigman link. I'll put that in for those who are asking. Alright, that is set there. So here we go. It's coming in chat, the video. I assume you can find the Discord through there. Why do we need a timer? I assume it's for the Sausalito race course. I don't know. I haven't downloaded Sausalito. I tried it, but it's a mod. I really don't want a mod, so I'll go without it. I can test myself, and yeah. All right, so let's get going here. We're gonna start with I fixed Night Owl's station keeping, so that works beautifully now. Let's go ahead and we're gonna take the when did I do this? 723. We're going to take the chassis, and we'll start with this. It's the engine's, of course, going to need to be changed because it's going to be a 3-cylinder, but the micro controllers will all work. That's the beauty of modular engines, is you can very quickly and easily change out cylinder counts, components, all that, and there's really no issue with that. So that is done there. Transmission will stay the same. Let's see, 3-cylinder. I'm trying to think how to do this. So a lot of hot hatches, or hatches in general, will have sideways engines. So I'm going to go ahead and we're just going to nuke this engine for now. There we go. Let's nuke that for now. Alright, and so let's see. Max width, he said, was 8. I don't think we're going to do 8 anyways. What's that? That is 7. So we're looking for... it would be a seat and 2, 5, 7. So we're looking for 7 is what I want. So I need a 7 distance. So what are we looking at there? We're at 9. Perfect. So we only need to go in 2. And I'm going to shrink up the wheelbase, but I just want to get this kind of rocking and rolling here. Merge that up. So I used to love these challenges. I did, you know, most of jerseys. I did, you know, I've done a couple Bigmans. I think I've done one Bigmans, and I think I won the Bigmans that I participated in. And then a Cool G's. So they are fun to participate in. Check some chat. Yeah, transversely mounted is what I'm thinking, but I'll have to see. Mini truck. Yeah, I'm not starting with the frame, I'm starting with the engine. That's how I want to do. And I think I'm going to mount it transversely. That's how I want it. It's a little bit more challenging. I can keep it tiny. So let's go. That's the nice thing about being a 3-cylinder. The issue is this. That's not going to work because the wheelbase here. Let's see. We might be able to get it in there. Let's see. We have some wheelbase issues here, so. That's my belt drive. Belt. There's my 3, and then clutch. Yeah, you see now we need to put in a piping to bend that. That's the wrong way. Let's go like this, and then I'm not going to be able to put in... Could try to sit it in front of the axle. could do that, have a little bit of an overhang. But it's nice having a jump ahead on microcontrollers as always. It's like, see, I need too much overhang if I put it like that. If I put it behind the axles, I need to go 3. So I don't think I'm gonna go transverse. I would have liked to, but I think I can get it in a little bit better as a straight. So let's go straight on it. Let's grab this back, cut that. That doesn't look like too bad of an overhang. Maybe one block too far, but we can fix that later. Let's go back to modular, run some cylinders here. And then my 5-speed transmission. I'm gonna keep this tiny wheelbase. Alright, there we go. That's starting to come along here. Alright. And I want to move this gearbox. I'm gonna move the gearboxes here. I think the best way to do it. Mid-engine would be cool, but really not any mid-engine hatches, so. Alright, let's send it back. Alright, so 18, I believe, is the block count for the length. So that's 18 right there. Alright. So I think we might air cool this sucker. Might do that to save a little space. Transverse would be nice, but I just can't. I need to cover it. Let's do this. Let's try it. I would love to be able to do it, but we'll see. So put it sideways again. See what I can get in here because I need to cover it with blocks, and the width of this is quite because it's 3 plus that's 4 and 5, and so I can probably do it with some enclosed piping there. So let's work on that. So it's fine on this side, and then I need to come down here. So let's try this, see if it screws my wheel wells all up. So that could be the wheel well there for the transverse engine. And then that will allow my radiator to have a little bit more space to operate in here. It's a little bit strange and potentially unconventional, but the problem is the wheels. It's just the width is tight for a straight 3. And with it being a 3, I don't want to go weird on it and do like a triple on there or a radial. I want to kind of keep it in line. So that's not bad. We'll put battery and whatnot in there. We're going to have to put a bunch of manifold pieces to get extra space. That's not too bad like that. Let's see. Let's see. How many gearbox do I have in there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Loop it back this way. We could do that. That would be interesting. Keep it super tight. I think we'll keep it tight. That way we can drop the floor in here. So Make sure they're all going the correct direction. There we go. Alright, yeah, that works for me. And then we're not going to be able to go down there, so we have to go through. So it's going to be a T-pipe out here. That's fine. We'll T-pipe here because the wheels can glitch in there fine. And we'll do a transfer there. Nice. And then we'll put a central drive shaft in here. Alright, so that's kind of where I want to be there. That gives me a nice short hood on it. And I can drop this down, so that's nice. I like that. Alright, beautiful. So, because I want to get some seats in here. And this allows me to have my flat floor. So, that's what I'm looking for there. Alright, nice. That gives me my flat floor. Go symmetry, and then I'm going to end up replacing this with micros in there. But we're going to throw those in there for now. Alright, so that will go right like that. Alright, I'm out of chat for a little bit. I'm cooking with gas here, so I'll get back in once I have the opportunity to. Okay. Alright, so that's good. Let's merge this up. Firewall this sucker. Alright, there's a firewall. I want to go padded seat. And we should be able to hatch over the rear axle, padded seat here. So essentially like that. Those can actually probably come one forward, but that's fine. That's kind of dimensionally pretty good. Here, let's check some chat. Mini truck, yeah. There are people who've made motorcycles. You'd have to reverse engineer it. I haven't made a success one. Let me see, just reading some stuff. Mid-engine, yeah, I was thinking mid-engine, but I want to keep it small. Yeah, I was thinking doing a triple weird, like radial, but I kind of thought against it. Alright, so there we go. Good start on this so far. Let's go. I just want to get a measurement out of what this is looking like on space. I'm kind of course, I'm not doing something super modern. You know, I was looking at some reference material I'm kind of like, and there was like a Renault that I liked. It was a little bit kind of like a boxy old school Golf was kind of the thought. So let's measure 16. So we're too short. That's good. We have space for the hatch in here. So that's nice. All right, so that is up and running here. All right, good. Put the battery in here. Let's get this thing start to plumb on this. I can't go inverted. So the radiator is currently going to be a little bit of a pain with its height. Because I don't want to go up in the seat. I want to keep this low. So let's get rid of this radiator for now. I could tip this engine forward and go vertically off that. I'm going to have to do that probably. So let's try that. Yep, okay, and then go manifolds. That will work. Okay, let's try that. I was thinking of some of the spacing issues I'm going to have here, because I want to keep the hood pretty low. So I want to keep this as kind of low as I can get it. looks like. You know, like that if I can, so. Alright, so we need to start thinking of componentry here. And I think I'll air cool it. It's probably going to be the most compact cooling. Go that way, we still have problems. Just trying to find some space for this sucker. Yeah, it's tough on space here. So just kind of thinking ahead, trying to find some problems here, what I want to do. Alright, so let's start building some of the stuff out. So let's go symmetry off, T-piece, imp. This is going to be a pain because the, you know, it wants to go forward. It has to go forward. I can't get to go down. I can do this though. I'll give me a little space. Because this stuff's going to be so low, you're never going to see this anyway. So that's air. Oh, that's fluid out. Crap. Okay. Let's go. It's going to have to go back. That's a problem. This was not being helpful, this. Trying to get that in there. I can go up in here. I don't want to take up that space. Just kind of think of what space I do and don't want to take up. Alright, let's start. I need manifolds to start working on this anyway, so let's get a manifold in here. I just need to be able to split this off into its into some T-pieces here to be able to actually work. Because I'm trying to keep it as low profile as possible, and that's a little bit of a struggle at the moment. What am I doing here? That's not gonna work. Trying to get the impeller thought out here. Okay, so that is, what's this, air in, air out. Okay, it's gotta come up and then down. Alright, so let's go bing bing like this. Manifold piece. Should be able to run these wheels into some stuff, but can't do too much of that. So let's go modular. Amp. That was probably right the first time, actually. Usually hook up torque first. What's that? That is fluid in. Okay, that works. And then this is... crap, of course it isn't. Fluid in. That's fluid out. Of course. Of course. Let's see. The size is interesting, trying to get this routed correctly. I'm trying to do some classical elements, you know, having the engine mounted sideways, stuff like that. Air in, air out, okay. I have to screw around with this just to get it running right. Put in there, okay, and then torque it there. Alright. Let's get this spun for torque first. Alright, and then let's see. We have a torque connection there. We have fluid out. Let's flip this. This is the kind of stuff that I enjoy, is like just coming in and trying to figure out spatially how I'm hooking the stuff up. That helps. Alright, that's air out. Alright, perfect. Let's do filter here for now. Alright, and then so we want to go torque it and then there. Okay. So I think I kind of know where I want this. So this is going to go down right there. Oh, that's the wrong one. There. Alright, so that's good there. Let's grab this. Alright. Trying to think how to run fuel. It's tough to make it this shallow, not very tall, and get this to run right. Alright, so that's plumbed there. Yeah, the height is a problem here. Height is tough. Can I run the axle? No, I can't run it off that because I put my transmission in with me. Yeah, I'm gonna start running into problems here. Should be able to run piping on this side on the fender well for fuel. Exhaust isn't a big deal. I can get rid of exhaust reasonably easy. I need 3 spaces for exhaust. So 1, 2, and then that's the 3 there, so that's fine. Let's go. Let's get exhaust done. Alright, so exhaust is in, air is in, fuel I'm going to route up and over here. So that needs to go in. It's not the end of the world. Trying to think how to get that best in there and not cause myself problems. So the hood, where do I want the hood? Let's see. So I need that. I need a starter and an alternator. It's causing me problems here. Just making it so compact is causing me some issues. How many? Let's do a quick measure here. 4, and I need 5, so I'd have to go out 1. Which isn't the end of the world, but it'd make the hood too long. So this is gonna be. We're gonna cover this like that probably to get the hood right. This is a pain right here. That is a pain, the way I've got it going here. Yeah, it's gonna have a working bonnet. Or hood. Alright, so let's do... Where's fuel? I can't go there, that's a problem. Don't want to raise it up 1, I'm trying to keep it low. I could put fuel tank in here and have... Yeah, I'll just put the fuel tank in the front. Screw it. It needs a starter there at least. Right, starter's there. And then we'll do fuel here, and that's fine. So we'll do that. We'll do fuel like this. Actually do fuel like that, maybe. That's not going to be right. Oh my god, this is annoying. It's very annoying. Let's go. Let's go like you there. Up and over there. Okay, I think I figured out where I want to route this. Routing is a problem. Cooling, I'll deal with in a minute. Cooling, I'm not overly concerned with. I'm going to keep the RPS down on it, so should be alright. And where do I want lighting? I want lighting going to be here, which is just screwing that up for me now. I'm gonna go there, and then the hood needs to go in there. So let's we'll put in one hard block there. We'll fix in the. This screws up my whole hood line. It's gonna have to go up one block. I'm not gonna have the space for this to run it all-wheel drive and run everything in there. It has to go up a block. Just has to. All right, so we're expecting to go up one here. So. So that will go up one. It's just going to be too much of a pain to not do it. All right. Yeah, it has to move up one. Just the way of it. It's not the end of the world. That's going to really save me some nonsense, I think, doing that. Yeah, that's going to help a lot. All right, so I'm going to cut this brick out again. Gonna work on all this again because now it's getting a bunch of changes here. So that's going to give me some space to actually operate the sucker, so that's going to help. All right, that'll be really helpful to do that. It's worth cutting that out to fix it. All right. Yeah, that will help with the radiator too. I can put a regular electric in there. So yeah, that's the way to go. All right. Element doing it, but I think that's going to really help. Let's get rid of the transverse for now. Let's run a straight. Straight forward, straight in. But how many space do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm one shy. That's all right. We'll extend the hood out 1. I can't put the radiator in front. We'll go back to transverse because I can't put the hood out, and I can't put the radiator in if we do that. So. And then we'll just go vert like this. Now that we have the space for that. Belt, 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 drive. There we go. Now we can put an alternator in there too, so this really helps out. Alternator there. Alright, nice. And then radiator. Right there. Yeah, that helps a lot. So that's worth doing. Please be air up. That's in, of course. That's out. That's fine. Yeah, we should be fine for space now. Yeah, this is trying to make it too compact and just kind of had to finally realize that's just not going to work right. Give me a race car. We'll try scooping it. We'll see if that works or screw stuff up. Alright, that's fine. This is, what's that? That is passenger dash, so we can sacrifice that. So passenger dash can get sacrificed. This is going to help with the doors too, because I need to be able to run fuel under the doors probably. You know, in real life, of course, you have a tiny little fuel line. In game, it's quite large, so you have to kind of think of that. Not facing the right way? No. Okay, come on, come on, come on, come on. Click on the right thing. Be here all day if you don't. Alright, and then we'll run fuel out to the rear axle. Or we can run it even under the belly if we need to, but this gives me a little bit of space for stuff, so I'm liking that. Could sit you lower in the cockpit too, but we'll see what happens when we get to roof line and stuff like that. Alright, so there's our fuel run. Alright, that's not too shabby there. Exhaust is easy. We'll put exhaust. I'm just going to do a front exhaust. Not gonna route it. Cat. I need a coolant manifold plumbed in before I do that, so let's go. Do that. And then how the hell am I pumping this? We can pump it here. That works. Okay. Fortunately, I have to use a regular electric pump. I'm not really thrilled about, but gotta do what I gotta do here. Alright, so that's exhaust, that's coolant manifold. Sorry guys, I'm gonna chat for a while. I'm moving here, so making good progress. Ah, you suck. Let's see. Could offset the radiator by 1. No, I can't do that. Yeah, I could offset the radiator by 1. Yeah, that's what I need to do here. Let's offset the radiator by 1. I don't want too much clippage, so we'll have to check. That's not gonna work. Let's see. You're just trying to destroy my funsies here, aren't you, guy? This is what's cool about some of these challenges. Those like space constraints alone are kind of getting to me on this one. And it's kind of challenging because I want to make it the way I want to make it, and I'm trying to challenge myself by going as small as possible, and that's a little bit of a challenge here, so that's nice. All right, let's go. You're coming over. Merging there. I need... We'll deal with exhaust in a minute. I have to rethink exhaust. I'll have to rethink exhaust here in a second, but that's not the end of the world. I can't loop into that, so that's not going to work. Crap. Tightness. We're having tightness problems here. let's leave that. This is really ugly trying to get this to run out properly. What's my space? Let me check something here. Nope, that's no way. Go back to try to air cool this sucker. That will save me a bunch of space. The devs just like do not have a coherent strategy on spacing. They really like these pumps are 3x1s. That's brutal, and I can't move my engine forward to get another node on the belt drive. Even if I put a pump in there, it's gonna be hitting my impeller unless I move that. Yeah, I can't do that. Let's try this. Yeah, see, it's like they need a 1x1 pump desperately. That's something that the devs really need to put in is 1x1 pump. They really need to focus on a miniaturization pass because making small builds, really just miserable because of the way they have some of the setup. Alright, so that goes like that. Try going back to a rad. Okay. Alright, that's plumbed. And that gives us a good bit of space, so I think we're all right here. And then this is now gonna come... Please be fluid out. Yay. Fluid in. My exhaust can go there. That works. Alright, so that's gonna do it for me. Okay, good. So, fluid out. I'll check chat in a second. I'm just... want to get this engine kind of in place and plumbed, and I think we're there mostly. What do I have here? I could put a tunnel on that, but I don't want to. I have a little bit of a footwell here, so let's exhaust here. And then we'll go like this. Footwell in the passenger side. The passenger is sacrificial, so that's fine. Cat. And I could put the facades on for the real exhaust. Alright, good. Let me check some chat. Starting to work. Yeah, cooling's actually not too bad because theoretically I could throw the radiator onto the floor, but, I got it in there. I am in, where the hell am I? Draymore. Alright, so that's good. We're making good space here. Or we're making good progress here. So this is plumbed in, my engine's in. Okay, good. So I want to work on getting the hood kind of where I need to be. So Probably extend the firewall there. Let's get a little bit of shaping in here. What's that? 1, 2, 3. That's 4 there. Then you come off the top of the radiator. I kind of want 1970s vibes on this. Like maybe Mark 1 Golf or something like that. There are a couple like Euros that are a little bit square that I kind of dig. Windshield problems here. Crap. Yeah, we're gonna have to square up the hood a little bit to get the windshield problems fixed. I do have space to drop my... Here, let's try this. Cut you. I still can go back down, so... That's still a possibility here. Mercifully, I left myself a little space here. Okay. Let's play with this a little bit, see what I can do. That hides the exhaust nicely like that, and then I have to go down one on that, but let's see. That's not too bad sitting low like that. I think it'll give me a more compact viewing port area. There we go. Okay. Let's go ahead and save this for now, so... Alright, let's grab the mini truck for now. Mini. I'm just gonna grab... Nah, I don't want that glass. Never mind. Need more slope, so 1x3 is gonna be better, but I need to just fit it in there. Let's grab windows. We're at 1x3. Could keep... I don't want it to get too high, so let's go 1x2. Okay. Yep, that's what we want. Okay, let's then go... So that's there. Ah, come on. Symmetry is always off or on or something. Alright, let's get a quick feel for the windshield there. Could make a convertible. Gotta actually merge it, huh? There we go. Will you friggin' grab? Thank you. Take a seat in this sucker. See how he feels. Did it say anything about convertibles on the rules? Not sure. Be kind of cool to have a convertible. I just don't want to be squished in by this roof. I want to keep it tiny as it can be. So. Convertible does a lot of... Convertible is very helpful if I can make a convertible. So. What do I have on this side going through? Okay, that's... Ah, right. I can't cut that because of that. Okay. That has to be square, which is going to be tough to work with. That's no good. Wheel well is going to be squared out. Let me see what I can do here. Okay, that's all fuel. I can screw with fuel. Fuel can come up if I need to, so I'm going to go ahead and cut that out. I can't cut with this wheel well. This wheel well has to be there like that. Fuel can go in more. Yeah, it's got to be square there anyway, so I don't know, man. I'm making a little progress on getting it shelled out. Got to be a hatch, so I don't think it can be convertible if it's a hatch. Start trying to work a roof line, so put some pillar in there. And roof down to there, okay. Ah, you suck, seat. Dude, this game sometimes, man. The seat's giving me problems. The seat is just not being cool, man. Is it really the seat that's screwing with me right now? What is screwing with me right now? Yeah, the seat. What the fuck? That's messed up, man. I can XML in a roof on that. That's just screwy, man. That just makes it super high. That's insanely high. Gotta get low. It doesn't matter where it's gonna spawn, as long as it can spawn. Huh. This is becoming a pain in the ass, I'm telling you that. How the hell is that roof line so frickin' high, man? That's brutal, man. It's like I'm slammed to the ground as it is, and the roof needs to be that high. That's absolute insanity. I wonder if it could be these. These could be what's causing it, because I'm like, I know I can get a block down that low, so maybe it's those back seats that was causing the roof problem. That wouldn't surprise me if that was what it was. Let's try it again. Let's put some pillars in. Yeah, it was the back seats that was screwing me. Okay. Alright, so that's pretty good. I need 2 transition from there. Let's do a measure. 18's the limit. There's 18 right there. So this will be, that's the limit, so we're gonna have to do a no bumper, which is fine. Some of the old cars had integrated bumpers. New stuff has integrated bumpers. So that's not the end of the world there. Okay. Kind of want to feel like you're sitting in the car a little bit more. Try to keep the perception up a little bit, so. Okay. That screws up my lighting possibilities, so we need to go up 1 higher on that. Okay. Alright. This is screwing me up right here. To make the wheel well look not chunky, but... So I need to put some shape in there somewhere. Kind of tough. Alright. Making some progress here. No, no suspension. Never suspension. I don't ever use suspension. What is this? Oh, fuel. Okay. That was fuel. Nope, no suspension. Suspension is going to make it too tall anyway. And it's just going to bounce around and be miserable. It's better to have no suspension. Let's see. We're going to run fuel here. Okay, that's where fuel's going to be. I might be able to kind of play with these sides a little bit and get them to be reasonable. Okay. At least put a little flare in the back here. Give it a little bit of shape. Front will have to be squared out because I need the transmission to run in there. Use a little bit of shape. Kind of a little old school looking. What else is new? I usually make my stuff look old school. Try cutting in. I have to worry about putting in the window here and have the window overhang, so I can't do too much shapeliness there because the window overhangs. This is going to be a problem area there. It's actually not too bad. The seats are here, so I'll put a pillar on. Okay, so we'll put a regular pillar there, a window pillar. And then this is going to be probably closed off there. Alright, we're getting there. Let's make its way. Alright, getting some general shaping kind of done here. Alright, there's the cargo area there. Okay, cargo there for the hatch. Tough shape to get where I'm going to be able to put any windows in there. Symmetry, come on. This area here is tough to get fixed. Here. We should be able to do this. Cut that. Cut that, cut that, cut that. Symmetry's on. Screw. Alright, let's see. What did I screw up there with symmetry? Okay. Take symmetry off. Should be able to fix this and fix the sides. So, where's the door need to go? Right there, but that's fine. I can screw up the door in a second. What are you? Oh, there we go. There's the answer to this. There's the answer to it right there. Beautiful. Alright, that's where my fuel's being routed right there. So nice. This is a problem still, so this needs to go. Transmission. This is the problem right there. That's what's tough right there. Okay. I need that transmission like that. Keep it short. It's tough because the even with a three-cylinder engine, you're up to 5 to get it in there, so that's kind of a stretch to get that in there right. Now checking some chat. No desire to put suspension in. No, there's going to be no suspension. I do not like suspension. I'm not going to put suspension in. There's not going to be any suspension. Alright. Alright, let's get a microcontroller in there. Start doing that. Make sure that's all going to fit. Should be fine. Should be alright with space for micros in this one. Okay, and then transmission needs to go in. And what are you, battery? Battery. You can go right there, it's fine. Could always go in the back like a Miata. Okay, that's in. Fuel is going to reroute this way. And right here. Okay, good. Should I get a crank out of this and see what it's doing? Seat still connected. What's that? Engine. Air. Yeah, there, guy. Air. Fuel. Where you at there? Fuel. Klooch. RPS. Pump clutch. Alternator. Okay, I need to put in a gen because I don't have an alternator. So that has to go in there. Starter. Gearbox should be set. Let's try it. See if I can pop it off. Yeah, get the engine up a little bit so I can hear it. Alright. Change some parameters on the engine. Idle goes up to 5. Max RPS was 25. That's fine. Start disengage 2.2. Clutch application RPS is going to be 5. 0.75. That's good. All right. Try to get a little more rev out of this engine. Have brakes on or something? Or something dragging. Something's dragging. That's not good. Let's see, what are we doing here on drag? Nope, this got disconnected. Alright, my drive shaft got screwed up. That would be why it's having issues. So let's go, you, cut. J, bingo. That would be why. Alright, I was wondering why it's anemic as hell. There we go, better. I was gonna say it should move like stink. There we go, it's moving like stink. Beautiful. Alright, let's go save this. Device. Where's the steering? You could go off the mini truck. I know right where it is. I'll grab that one. How did this get painted wrong again? I don't know. Seat back's gonna be a pain, but I can cut into. That's just screwed me up here. This little fuel thing screwed me up. I gotta fix that. Let's cut this padded seat for now. And that has to go in. Put a steering controller in here. What is this? Oh, I'm hard steered. Okay. Port. Where are we at here? Composite. Where's my CG? CG's right. It's pretty close, 50-50. It's not too bad, actually. Let's see, where is give her symmetry, and then I'm not going to screw around with physics sensor right now, figuring out which channel is right. I'm just going to throw an angular in for now. Let's go physics sensor later. What the hell is it? Lordy, man, where am I here? Why is angular? Oh, because am I already running this as a physics sensor? What channel am I running that as? Angular speed 11. Okay, I must be. Let's try the physics. Let's see what the physics sensor. I don't want to have to test it out, so. Oh, where are we at here? Angular velocity 11. So I must have already figured it out. Right. Been trying to slowly convert everything over to physics sensors, so. Does not surprise me, I already did one. Let's see, what's my sensitivity on my seat for this? Should be alright already. 10, let's go to 15. Did I just delete something else out of needed? No. Oh, it's the wheels rubbing on something in the engine compartment. Yeah, that's what it is. God damn it. Usually you can get away with quite a bit of touching, but this is tight. Let's see what... Might be hitting this pipe. Ugh, you suck. It's probably hitting this one pipe there. Damn it, I need that one too. I don't have a double floor in there. That's problematic. I don't want to put the gearboxes visible. I don't want to really stick the transmission out in the back either. That's kind of gross. Could stick the transmission out in the back and return it, but I'd rather not. Yeah, I didn't think so. I don't know what it is grabbing on though. It's hitting something somewhere. I don't know. I don't see any obstructions. It should be able to glitch the pipe fine, and that's the only thing, so. Give it a run, see what it does. Make sure the wheels, I doubt there's a parking brake on. Yeah, brake's false. Variable brake. Why does variable brake have some variable brake on it? Okay. One thing I think I'm going to do is like more of a square back like I had on the Ford Escort I used to have. And put the hatch above it. Yeah, see now it's not grabbing. Yeah, see now it's running like stank. And the wheels aren't gripped yet, so those are getting gripped, so beautiful. Alright, we got a little bit of run on there. I'm going to fix the back to a square like Ford Escort back. I used to have a Ford Escort, had a square back on it. Square back with a hatch, so. And I could fix it a little bit more if I didn't slope, if I didn't do a bumper. Could do an integrated bumper on it. Kind of like the bumper though. Oh, come on, symmetry. Be on when I want you on. There we go. Yeah, I'll do a square back like on the Ford Escort. Gonna need to step off one. Yeah, it's got to step off one. Alright, so. It's looking too German. That's better. Yeah, like my Ford Escort had a back like this where it a little bit square. It actually went one more. So I don't want to go that high though. That's how the Ford Escorts was like that. So what we can actually do is try this here. That'll be alright. This is looking to 1940s. The way I had it. Play with that for right now. Okay. Yeah, it's a little bit more Ford Escort. Alright, what's up? Let's do a little. I need a little bit more steering sensitivity here to catch. Let's do grip. Let's grip that up. Alright, let's get in the XML. Just quickly grip them up. I didn't fix them in here. Let's fix them in here. Grip factor, there it is, right there. Alright, grip tires now. Let's see how we perform. Looks like stank. Need some weight, but weight will really help with grip. Do well in the rally circuit. There we go, perfect. Alright, so it's moving well. I'm gonna save this. Save this. And then we're gonna move to FJ. Hello, Troop Flight, how are you? Let's go back to game capture. There we go, beautiful. All right. So now I should be able to test this a little bit more racy. Try to get the drifting tuned in. Let's do a wheelbase measurement here. So we have, of course, it's an even number. Let's see, 6. So that's pretty good, actually. So we want it about, it's actually close to where it needs to come up. It needs to bias a little bit forward, but not too bad, actually. So let's see. If I put battles in there, are we going to have a problem? Where I need like a free 3 that's in the middle. You got something over this axle? You do. Crap. That sucks. Let's see. I want to get some mass in this sucker. The problem is it's gonna be hard to get it evenly balanced here. Let's try to do a little bit of rear bias on this for now, see how it behaves. And then I just need to push some weight in it. What's my current mass? Yeah, it's light. It's 375, something like that. Let's see. I need to fatten this sucker up a little bit. Need some mass in it. I can fix the biasing too a little bit. There we go. So 375 to 495. That was worthwhile. Let's see. Cut you out. Oh, don't do that. Dragon Cemetery. See how bad I bias this, and then I can fix it. I'm trying to count. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Grab a weight block there, you. Ah, I need that for the floor. Shit. That's not gonna work. I need space for some mass in here. What's this look like? Is that 3? I can't tell. Cannot tell. Where are we at here? That's 2. Everything's 2. Let's go. Do active arrow too will help. Try to get a little mass just pumped in the sucker though. We're looking at mass 537. What's the? It's biased a little bit rearward now. Let's see how it performs with a little rearward bias. I'm doing all right. Just kind of getting the beginnings of this car going here. That's why I needed some weight in that front. Knew that was gonna happen. Crap. Alright, let's get a little mass in this sucker. I gotta find space for mass. I can take a there, that's battle cannon right there. What? Come on. Why won't that fit? I grabbed the wrong one. Did I? This one. There we go. There's a little bit of mass, and then in the front, 577. How donkey will this look if I do this? I can't go that low, but let's try this. I just want to see if that actually doesn't look terrible. Let's see, 616. Getting there. I'm massing the sucker up. Let's go. We will cut you. We'll cut you. We will. That shouldn't be there anyway. We'll cut you. We'll weight block you sucker out like so. And then we will floorboard you out like that. I didn't check the weight, but trying to get some weight in there. I'm gonna have to active arrow it too, so. Pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, good. A little bit sensitive on the steering. I'm kind of, it's overly sensitive on the steering. The P-value could probably go down on the stability system. Yeah, it's a little overly sensitive in the steering. I'm kicking the ass out because of it. Let's cut that down. Go down to 10. Overly flicky. Yeah, I don't have 50-50 weight distribution, so that's being kind of rough. Like the Vice car has perfect 50-50, and it makes it really a good steerer. Yeah, I think it's too biased to the rear. You see the rear wants to slide out, so I need to fix that up. Where's my bias here? So let's get that fixed. So we're 12, 6 is... Oh, wow. So, yeah, it's biased quite a bit to the rear. So I need it here on the door panel, so... Oh, come on, get out of there, you. There. It's way too biased to the rear. It's gonna make it really tough to run. Let's go. I'm gonna work on this back just a little for escort. So the escort had a really flat back, like that. I don't know. We'll see what I want on this. And I have to take some of that mass out of the rear here because it's way too rear biased, and it's causing me problems here. It is causing me problems. Let's see. So I need to get it right where I had it there on the pink. So that helped. As you can see, that's dragging it forwards there. Cut out the rear bias a little bit more. That's looking pretty good there. See how that performs now. We'll active arrow it too. That will help. What's the roll? So, let's see. That's making some progress. I'm gonna take the vice car out for a second and kind of show you what I'm aiming for here. So here's the vice car. The vice car handles how I want this to handle. You know, this has a much bigger engine, but this has active aero, and this has perfect 50-50 weight distribution. So that really helps to get this to operate right. Like this has really good steerability because it's 50-50 weight on the money. It has good driftability. Controllable. Downshift into the turn like some people weren't doing in a review video. So they didn't know how to operate the car. I will actually downshift before the turn. Downshift again. I didn't get much of a drift on that one, but I'm trying to do a regular turn. Get off the accelerator, downshift, start turning in, downshift again. So that's about what I want. But this has active aero too, so this one, that's gonna need active aero. If you look up, you'll see the YouTube video from Bigman for the challenge. Pink block is center of gravity. So you want 50-50 weight distribution. If you look at this and you measure from hub to hub, this is 12 blocks and that is 6. So it's 50-50 weight distribution. So that will make the car less likely to spin out because you have the same amount of mass forward and back, and so it wants to slide flat instead of trying to spin out. Like you saw, the car kept spinning the tail out, and that was all due to that issue of 50-50. Tack speed, where are we at here? These are what? Constant number. What am I running these? Just constant? Yeah, okay. Let's try a little active aero, see how this plays with active aero. This will be inactive aero. This will just be aero. Let's go. Space is tough on this sucker. That's the one constant in this, is just it doesn't like to have any space for me to put stuff where I need to put it. And some of the stuff I want to hide too, so I don't want it too visible. It's gonna have to go here. We could do 4 in there. Okay. So, little active arrow here. Let's see. Symmetry's on. Let's try a little active arrow on there. I'm trying to think how I want to do this. Let's try to glue the whole thing down. I hope this doesn't cause a wheelie. It shouldn't do it because the fins are symmetrical. Oh, goddammit. What the hell's there that's causing me problems? I'm missing a block here? I am. Okay. Should have infinite electricity on, so I won't bother hooking these up. Just double check. Infinite electricity's on. There we go, active arrows helping. Why is it? It doesn't, when I do a hard hammerhead turn like that, it wants to stall the engine out. I don't get why it's doing that. So we have no wheel squeal, which means the gear ratios are correct. So we'd be burning rubber the whole time if my gear ratios were wrong. See, like that, it keeps stalling the engine out. So it is hitting something that's locking up the tire. What the hell is it doing? Definitely, the wheels are rubbing, I think. I don't know what the deal is, because it feels like the wheels are rubbing, because when I go in a hard turn, it's as though it stalls out the engine because of that. So we got to be going. We're definitely going over 100 miles an hour. I have to look at the. I have to put a linear speed in there, but we're definitely going over 100. See, like right there, it likes to stall. So I have to figure out what the hell's going on with that. That should. All right, let's go linear speed. I just want to get this in there and kind of get some speed range. Yeah, I don't know the diameter of the tire, so I can't really figure that out. Right. Maybe 120, probably higher than 120. We'll see. There's 100, and yeah, there's greater than 120. That's like 130-ish. So we're running 130. That's not bad. And with no wheel squeal in top gear. So I could probably even tax it a little bit more with a 3-cylinder, so that's not too bad. We gotta be cooking over 130 right now. Yep. So 63, 2.28, I think. 63 times 2.28, 143 miles an hour. So that's not bad. And that's with no wheel squeal, so that's beautiful. All right, that's working. So I need to figure out that stalling issue. That is a problem. I don't know what's doing that. It feels like the wheel's rubbing on something, because I do that hard out it's got hard out acceleration, and it wants to, that's when it cuts out the wheel, so I don't know what the hell's going on there. Kind of baffling me right now. So I gotta figure that out. Could do a flat back hatch. That's what I had on the Ford Escort, was a flat back hatch like so. That will allow me to cut this down a little bit bumper-wise. We'll have to see. A couple old school hatchbacks that had that kind of flattened end point on the hatch like that. I forget there was a Toyota that was like that. So I'll have to look at it. So the active arrow is helping quite a bit to give us stability. So the only issue I'm really having now is that frickin' stall that it does when I get in the corner. So I need to figure out why it's stalling out in the corner like that. Shape's not terrible. I think I'm right at the max. That's kind of the problem, is 18 is the max, so I'm at the max. And I'm kind of tight on the engine as it is. I've got enough space for seating in the back. I have to kind of work with what I have for right now. Let's check, see how badly I screwed up the... Okay, weight and balance isn't too bad now. I just need to cut out some in there. So cut out a couple weight blocks. And we'll force the weight back in the front. Beautiful. All right, that's back on to balanced. So let's try to figure out what the hell's going on in this corner here. Let me just read some stuff here. You want a tutorial on a moving stick? Sure, go over that. I'll do it now. Need a little break from this, but okay. So like this is working beautifully. Like look, no wheel squeal at all. That's gorgeous. So the gear ratios are perfect. Problem is, I should be able to come in here and it stalls because it's rubbing. And listen to the engine. The engine keeps stalling out. So it's hitting something it doesn't like. It's probably that pump. So let's do this. See if it's the pump clutch, which is going to be an absolute pain in the ass if it is. It's probably that pump clutch. What's on the other side? Nothing. So I bet it's this pump clutch. Let's cut this out and see if this fixes it. If this fixes it, we have bigger problems we have to deal with. All right, let's see if that does it. I think it's hitting that pump clutch. All right, we're gonna come in hard. Yep, still stalling. What is it hitting? Is it the fins I just put in? I'm gonna cut the fins out. I can't cut the arrow out or I'm gonna be in trouble. Because I need a static test here, so come on, go back to workbench. What the hell is it hitting? The wheels are hitting something in the front. So that I need to rectify, yeah. Let's move this arrow and see if I can get, if that's what it's hitting. So I'm gonna do a static test here. I'm gonna go full wheel and see if I can stall it on takeoff. So here, I'll just trim it all the way over. All right, let's see. Yep, so see, it's rubbing on something there. Definitely rubbing on something. So let's take some trim out. So let's go 8.5. Okay, still doing it. Let's go to 50%. I need at least 50%. Let's go to 65. Oh, God damn. Still hitting. That's not good at all. 60. I can't imagine what it's hitting. Okay. Because I took that pump out. That pump should have been the only thing I was hitting. What the hell is it hitting? Okay. Can I get out of the seat and recall this to the workbench, please? Thank you. Let's see. I cut out the fins, so no, it's not that. This I'm not gonna be able to test because of where the transmission is. What the hell is this hitting? It's got to be hitting. I thought it, you know, I've had plenty of cars where I have pipes right next to the wheel and it does not cause any problems. This one is fine on this side. What are you doing to me there, guy? Let's see. That sucks. That is not an easy fix if that's what it is. Let's play with something really quick here. Let's play with the clutch application. Alright. 0.05. Okay, let's stick with that for now. 5 on the clutch application. Let's try some. Let's go down to 4. Once they hesitate a little on start anyway. Let's try one more thing here while I'm here. Let's go up to, get a little bit more torque. Where are we at here? Idle. Clutch application is going to be 6. Right. So let's see if we can get a little bit more power to the wheels here. Alright, so it didn't grab on that one, so let's give it a test. So let's go give it a run. There we go. It started up better there. A little bit slower clutch application, a little bit more torque. That was an early shift. There we go. It's still doing it. It's grabbing something. It's got to be. Unless I'm not. Might have to just drop it more of a gear. Let's try doing a double drop on the gear on a steering. All right, let's do downshift. Downshift. Still doing it. Yeah. Steering slow. Drop another gear. I wonder if it's just putting too much resistance on the engine because it's a tiny little engine. Downshift. There we go. Seems better now. See, this is the problem though, is it's not being tested by me, somebody who's tested the build. It's being tested by Bigman, who, you know, will have just used it. It was like, as some of you saw with a test video the other day of somebody who was not shifting the gears properly for racing. You know, if you don't shift properly, you're going to have problems. So, for example, I need a downshift, turn, downshift. So if my wheels are squealing, I'm in the wrong gear pretty much. So there we go, upshift, upshift. So I need to come in here, downshift, downshift, downshift. That was too many downshifts. I need to downshift, turn, downshift. It's grabbing. Something is grabbing in there. I can't figure it out though. Yeah, see, it wants to stall out right there. Cause like, here, watch. Let's put it in first gear. Let's go in reverse. Alright, we're in reverse. We'll go neutral, 1. And if I go hard lock, this is why I'm thinking it's touching something. If I go hard lock again, it doesn't want to go. See, it's stalling. So something is preventing those front wheels from moving, it appears. Alright. So let's bring this back. So let's save this really quick. Grab the Vice car. Vice car is kind of the fastest one. It's kind of standard I run it now for race cars. So let's do it. Same test with Vice. Alright. So full lock. Gotta go and notice Vice. No problem. No hesitation. Now Vice has a very large engine. Vice has, what's this have in it? So this has like a much bigger engine, so it could be that the fact that the sucker's so small. Let's see. It's like, let's see, Vice is running, it was whatever the Ferrari Testarossa had in it. 1, 2, 3, 6, flat 12 is what the Testarossa had in it. So Vice is a flat 12, so it has the power that it could be powering past the, you know, so it could be a power issue, which means I need to increase the torque. So like, what is my key for my hood? 6? Yeah, so Vice has a, what the hell, why can't I pop the trunk? 5? 5, 6? Why are those not working? I don't know. Oh, they're on here now. Okay. So like Vice has a flat 12 in there, so there's plenty of heft to get going. So like this is kind of my standard. What I want to get to is we'll do a quick race on this. Should be able to come in wide on the first turn. I'm going to drop a gear. I'm going to steer in, drop a gear, rev out, pick up a gear, pick up a gear, pick up a gear, pick up a gear, drop a gear, steer in hard, pick up a gear, pick up a gear, drop a gear, steer in hard, pick up a gear, pick up a gear, pick up a gear, there we go. So this has no problem with that, so we need to fix that situation. That needs to be fixed. Steering microcontroller, it helps you with drifting. So essentially it has an angular speed sensor. And so that is measuring how much you're yawing. And so essentially what it's doing is with the AD on the steering, you're setting what angular speed you want. And so if it's going over what you want, it maintains the angular speed. It's not maintaining the angle of the wheel. So you as the driver could oversteer or understeer. The system makes it so they're always steering. It always gives you whatever angular speed you want, which lets you drift like a pro. So let's see. We need to fix this up. So let's do a crazy test here and see if it's a torque problem. So if we look in here, we have the clutch application, which is here. Let's go 10 RPS on that, so that should give us a lot of torque. This is a tiny, tiny little motor. This motor is 1/4 the size of Vice. Alright, so let's try that. So I just upped the RPS value to 10, which is pretty nuts. And so we're going to see if I can do this steering test again. So we'll go full. I'm just going to... I'll trim it in there. So you saw with Vice, I trimmed it in and it had no problem. It kept going and going and going. So, yep. So let's try something. Let's do this as well. Let's give this the best chance it can to make that turn. So here we have clutch application there, and then I need to go in. Let's make this 1/4 of as fast. So this will be a really slow clutch, which will help us prevent us from stalling. And this will give us a lot of torque, and it will give us very slow clutch application. Nope. So it's hard jamming. Something is grabbing. You can see it's still stalling out there. Oh, what the hell? It's got to be hitting something. I can't think of what it would be doing if it's not hitting. Let's do this. This is kind of the biggest thing. This is going to cut out all of our steering and all of our power in the front. But if this moves without any problem, I know it's hitting that pipe. So that's going to be a nightmare. Now it doesn't want to turn because I don't have any power going to those front wheels. Okay, so see, it feels like the wheels are getting locked up on something. See how they're like... Now we're rolling freely. See, I'm rolling freely here, and then they lock up. So it's rolling freely, lock up. So something is up with these wheels. Oh, no, that's right. Why is this one upside down? That could be... See, this reverses the steering. I bet that's what it is. I bet the steering controller is screwing this up. Let's try that. So I just noticed this. It's turning the right direction, but it's inverted the steering, and then the steering controller is probably locking it up. So let's go ahead and let's cut these wheels out and put in freshes. That could be it. If that's it, I'm going to kiss myself. Because I think that would do it. Because I've never had this issue this bad before, so that could be it. Let's screw around with it. I need to fix the grip on it too. Steering, starboard, steering port. Okay, so that could very well be it. I'm hoping that's it. Let's build this back up and do the test, because it was very weird. I was like, I haven't run into that before all that bad. Like, I've had it a little bit, but never that bad. So I'm thinking that could have been it. I'm hoping that's it. That's an easy fix. Ah, come on, Symmetry. Get out of there, you devil. Alright, so that's back in. We have no active arrow. Let's go ahead and run this test. I need to grip the wheels up, so let's go 99. High speeds. High speeds. 99. Let's save this. I'm hoping that's it. Let's hope. I'm just going to do the XML off screen. Just takes me 1 second to do it, so. Alright, that's done. Let's load it back in. If it was that silliness, that would explain it. So let's go all the way over. 6 in gear. That was it. Thankfully, we fixed it. So is that. I didn't even notice that wheel got flipped, so that was it. Because it was trying to opposite steer it, so I think it was just driving it nuts. Beautiful. Oh, that's gorgeous. That is really a big get. That is a big fix, so that was awesome. It's always nice when it's like it's not as big of a problem as you think it is. Let me see. Symmetry, please. What do we want? We want it to tip up to pull the nose down. Active arrow there. Awesome. So that was a good fix. Let's finish with that. Fin. The XML edit is the grip of the tires. So this fixed it up. Let's give this a quick try and see where we're at here. All right. Actually, I want to fix these numbers. I put in ridiculous numbers. I want to fix them. So let's see. Clutch application should be 5, and then I need to go in here. I need to fix the clutch. I want it back to 4 was good number. There we go. Good set off. So a thing when you have a small motor is you really need to see how it's wobbling there. That is just too high of a p-value on the steering. Okay, so see now it's drifting like a pro. So that is an issue with that was definitely the problem. So here I'll show you what the steering controller is doing. So see how it's wobbling? That means the p-value is too high, so I have to fix that. But when I go into steer, I'm setting the angular speed I want. So it's gonna only give me as much wheel turn as I need for that angular speed. So see how I'm arcing a beautiful turn? So I'm just setting, hey man, I want this angular speed, and the pit is controlling the wheel to try to give me that angular speed. So I can like drift and I can recover because I'm setting angular speed. I don't have any brakes on this, so. But that is nice now. So let's go back up to, I changed AD because of that. Let's fix it back to 15. But that's a big fix. That was good. Let's see. What else did I want to do here? That was all fine. Yeah. So that's the XML edit you meant, right? Okay, so if we look right here, we saw that we had that little wobble when we were going straight. That is too high of a p-value. So on the steering, we're going to go down to, we'll do 0.65. And that's going to make it less, so it won't overreact. And that will get rid of that little wobble. All right. So you really want to wring the neck of this. You want to get the gears out. Like a small motor, you have to go to peak torque, or else you're not going to be able to get any power out of it. Nice, it's behaving well now. Alright, downshift coming into gear. So I'm cutting it wide because I'm just going too fast. You know, the tires are going to lose grip, so that's why, like, you watch real racing, they slow down, they tap the brakes. I just don't have any brakes on this yet, so I can't tap the brakes, so I have to double tap the downshift and make the engine brake me, so I'll get some brakes on this. So this is behaving pretty well. It's got a good top speed. Let's get out. Let's just ring it. So notice, watch me steer like crazy now. Notice it's not doing that wobble anymore, so dropping the p-value down helped. And what's our speed? We're doing about 140 miles an hour. So should go off into space here as soon as we hit this bump. But yeah, so that's good. So we can. So now that I know I kind of have a working car, that's gonna be able to race and drive, we can start to worry about looks. So the p-value is your proportional gain. So let me try to see if I can. Trying to do it in a graphical way so you can kind of see it here. Let me go to. So you have P, I, and D. I pretty much only ever do P. It's really all I really need to get the precision that I want, and there's some other tricks I can do to kind of get it there, and it makes the tuning take a lot less time. So for example, let's say, let's do a black line here. And so what's going to happen is, you know, you're going to say, okay, this is my maximum here. Where are we at here? So let's say I want, just trying to set this graph up here, or this example. All right, so the black line is essentially stability. And so what you want to do is when you're going to ask for, you're going to say, okay, so you're starting at 0 input essentially. So in this case, the steering is, okay, I want 0 angular speed. And so what's going to happen is, where's paintbrush? Paintbrush, let's make it orange. And so we're at 0 angular speed. Well, then I tell it, hey, I want to turn left. And so what it's going to do is the p-value, properly set p-value is going to do this. It's going to go up. It's going to go up towards where you want to go. And now as it gets close, it's going to come back down. And it's going to get more and more precise. And it's going to go like this until it sets the angular speed you want. And that's what it's going to look like. All right. And so it has a little bit of an overshoot. And then it comes back. It corrects itself. And then it gets smoother and smoother and smoother. If your p-value is too high, what was happening was it was going, oh, you want, okay, go like this, 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 and it waves. And so you get that a lot in airplanes. You can really easily see it. So say, for example, you have your autopilot, and you do an altitude change. So I want to go up 1,000 feet. Well, it's going to increase the p-value, and it's going to give you the pitch you want. And then as it gets close to 1,000 feet, it's going to start to slowly decrease your pitch. And then it's going to get to the point where you're at your altitude you want, and it's going to maintain it. All right, it's going to maintain it. Now, the issue you're going to have here is if your p-value is too high, it's going to go give you maximum pitch, and then it's going to go minimum pitch, maximum pitch, minimum pitch, maximum pitch. If you don't have enough p-value, you're going to say, hey, I want to go up 1,000 feet, and it's going to go like this. And it's going to go way too little. And if it's way too low of a p-value, you're just never going to get there. And so it's going to go very slowly, and you may never reach it. So, but pretty simple PID tuning. Like, all you really want to be doing here is like, let me try to get a visual representation here. So I find a dial is one of the easiest ways to like to visualize what the PID's doing. So let's see. Let's go like this. All right, so let's look at our engine here. So let's go on the engine PID, because I should be able to visualize this the easiest. So right here, this is a number I use for a lot of my engines, is 0.18. I start there. Sometimes that's sometimes certain vehicles, for example, let's say I have a flywheel on there. That's going to be slower to change movement. So I might need a little bit of a higher p-value because I need a bigger kick in the ass because it has more mass to move. And so right here is 0.18. Let's say I change this to a 1. So that's, you know, a considerable amount. That's, you know, more than 5 times that. So what are we going to expect to happen? I press down the W key. I'm asking for more RPS. It overshoots. So it goes all the way up to the top. Well, once it overshoots, it says, oh crap, I went too far. And it undershoots like crazy. And so it'll go up, 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 up. And you can actually hear it with an engine. I know you guys are here for the sound effects. And so let's go ahead and we'll take the RPS off the engine and plug it into the dial, and we'll watch it. So now, remember, my p-value is 5 times. It's most likely way too high. I might not even be able to get the engine started. So look at it. See the visual representation? It's going too high, too low, too high, too low, too high, too low, too high, too low. I told it, hey man, I want to maintain 5 RPS. See what it's doing? It's going way over 5, way under 5, way over 5, way under 5, way over 5, way under 5, way over 5, way under 5. All right. Let's actually, so if we look here, I have it set for my idle. So my idle is set at 5 RPS. So let's index this gauge so it's 0 to 10. And what that will do is put 5 in the middle. And again, we'll do it really quick. So 5 is where I want it. Notice how it's you know, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under. Okay. So let's go ahead and I'll move it in front of our seat so we can see it a little bit better. I can't do it there. Okay. I can move back one, so that's fine. We'll go right there. All right, so we know that it is now too high. Let's make it really too high. Really too high, I might not be able to get the engine to run because what's going to happen is it's going to overshoot like crazy, which is going to screw up my air-fuel ratio, but then it's going to go to 0, and that's going to shut the engine off, essentially. And so it's going to give it feast famine, feast famine. So we'll go to 10. So that's now 50 times more than what I wanted initially. And so we'll go ahead and put that in. Start it. So notice it won't start. It's overshooting, undershooting so bad that the engine won't even start. All right. So now let's go to 0.18, which will show you what it's supposed to be. So 0.18 is where it initially was. All right. So remember, I want 5. Now, this is an undershoot. That's fine for me. Some people have said, oh, I went in, like somebody did this. For example, they were saying, oh, I went in and I put in a 0.001 into your eye and now it works perfectly. One, as somebody who's operated a lot of vehicles, you never get that high of a level of precision in real life. You just don't. And so let's use their number there as an eye value. The problem is you can get other issues with eye values that I found where they're just eventually not going to work right in certain situations. So, did that improve it a little bit? Sure. Do I care? No. It's going to keep going up to get to 5. Do I need this level of precision in a car? No, I do not. And this is like when people are like, oh, I went and I put this value and I got it even more accurate. I'm like, okay, well, every truck I've ever driven has at least a 50 RPM deviation. You know, if it's cold, the RPM is going to be 50 off. If it's hot, the RPM is going to be 50 off. If you're at a high altitude, the RPM is going to be 50 off. So notice how it keeps climbing. That's what the I value is doing. It keeps putting it up there. I do not need or care about that level of precision for a car. And all it's doing is I have to screw around and make sure it doesn't cause problems later. So that is why I don't run with an I. It's not worth it to me. I don't need that level of precision. Okay, so I'm not getting to 5. Remember I said I wanted 5? Okay. Let's say I really, 100%, my heart is set on I must have 5. Okay, 5.5. I want 5. I put in 5.5. Let's see where we get now. Oh my God. Even better than putting in that I value. You saw how slow the I value was going? Okay, what do we need now? It is 85, so it'd be 15. Okay. So this is how I like to do it. I set a higher value than I want to achieve it. So we need 15 more. All right, so would that be, what was it, 15 more? Yeah, okay. So this is how I like to set my idles. I do it with just the p-value, and oh my God, look, we're at 5. Did I have to put in an I value that could possibly cause me problems later down the road? No. And so this is why I do it this way, is I could put a simple correction factor in there, and it works fine. You know, and so I didn't mean to put it in gear. So I want it. So let me hit the brakes. I don't have brakes. So I don't need that level of precision. Nobody really does. And so my max set RPS on this is 25. I'm close enough, man. Do you think in real life you're going to be able to get an engine to run this precise? No. You know, there are too many conditions. You have to work for, like I said, air density, which is temperature, which is altitude. You have to worry about all that stuff. And so I don't care about that level of precision, but you see, so you can visually see, Connor, you notice with that gauge though, you can see how the p-value will change that. So for example, let's go in here and just do 5. I don't need it that precise again, so we'll fix it. But for example, so I showed you too high of 1 and I showed you 10, what it does. 10, the engine won't run. 1, it's going up, down, it's going over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under. So let's say I go too low. All right, so again, I set the idle to 5, right? And what's going to happen is, let's go down to 0.09. So that's half of the p-value that I have in there. I'm trying to make it so the engine still starts. So notice, I set 5. Remember, we were at like, what were we at? 4.5 something, 4.45. Now we're down to 3.71. So that lower p-value is never going to reach where it's supposed to be going. It's never going to get to it. So what I personally like to do is I set my value, and then, like I said, if I want to get it more accurate, just go like that. Put in the error correction into there, and you'll get it right on the money. Do I need it right on the money? No. And so I think sometimes people will spend too much time trying to get it perfect, where guess what? We live in an imperfect world. There's no car in real life that is that perfect, so it doesn't matter. And so that's, hopefully that's helpful for PIDs and how I tune them. But a dial is really beautiful. You can see, you really easily could see the needle jumping back and forth. And that right off the bat tells you, hey, my p-value is too high. When I was driving with the steering controller and it was wobbling back and forth, that tells you right off the bat, okay, my p-value is too high. So what did I do? I dropped it down about, what did I drop it down? 10? 0.1 rather. I dropped it down by 0.1. And my wobble went away. And so just understanding that essentially too high of a p-value is giving you an oscillation, and you want to back off until you get no oscillation. You want to go a little bit lower than no oscillation to make sure that you don't accidentally get into an oscillation here and there. But it's mainly trying to smooth out that oscillation. And then you really have to, you know, you don't want to be a perfectionist in this. It's like, it's those people I keep getting constant messages on YouTube. They're like, oh, I made your number even more accurate. Okay, great. Do I need a number more accurate? No, I don't. And at some point, you need to quit. Say, you know what? It's like the difference between me like gently touching the W key and pressing on the W key a little bit harder is more of an error than that p-value change you made. So it's practically, it's not worth my time to go in there and tune that PID perfectly for an hour when I can throw 0.18 in there and it works, you know. Nope, I was reading Citrus's chat. That's why I went off road, so blame Citrus for that one. But so, talking about some of the systems on this. So, 50-50 weight distribution is incredibly important to make sure. If you remember, like, earlier when I was working on this car, the ass kept sliding out when I go in a turn. Even with the active steering system there, you can still slide the ass out. So if the ass is too heavy, it's going to slide out on you. And so by getting 50-50 weight, the car wants to slide sideways, not spin out. And so that's why, like, you know, really good sports cars and race cars have 50-50 weight distribution. That's why a lot of them went mid-engine, was to try to get that engine in the middle. And, you know, we can easily do this with weight blocks. In real life, you wouldn't want to add a ton of extraneous weight to cars, but in game, adding weight will help you gain speed. So it's okay to add some weight to it. And then the other thing is active aero. I have 4 fins in the back pushing down at 100%. I have 4 fins in the front pushing down at 100%. I got my 50-50 weight balance, so if I put the fins in there, they should act pretty equally if I have the same values in there. And now that the front doesn't pick up and it's gluing me to the road, which is giving me even more grip. The transmission's working perfectly. Notice a lot of people's cars will spin tires the entire time they're going down the straightaway. If you have the proper gear ratio, it's not going to do that because it's not undershooting or overshooting. You're always going to make tire smoke when you're in a skid because you've broken the coefficient of friction. So, but this is working pretty well. I could cheat some more to get even tighter steering, which you can get unrealistic tight steering in game by, guess what, putting more fins in and essentially turn it into a little airplane that touches the ground at all times, but I'm not interested in that. See, we got a little wobble there, but it fixed itself. I'm trying to recreate I can't do it. So it gave me a little wobble, so that active steering system just saved my ass, because if I didn't have that, that wobble would have probably caused me to get in a death wobble and spin out. And so that's another thing that steering will do is, like, when I let go of the steering, it's actually doing something for me. It's saying, hey, he wants 0 angular momentum, and it's constantly working my steering to keep that. So it fixes itself, and that happens in real life. In real life, you have gyroscopic forces. So the tire is spinning forwards, and so any force put on that tire will act 90 degrees to it. If you think of a motorcycle, the reason a motorcycle can lean over and stay up at speed is the tires are spinning. And that's how a gyro works, for example, in anything, but that's how a gyro works in gyroscopic instruments and airplanes is as it spins, it wants to stay stationary in three-dimensional space. And so that's very important. So that was, we used to have this thing, we have a bicycle tire on an axle, and you would put your hand on either side of the axle and somebody would spin the bicycle tire. And now you would try to steer and lean the tire, and you would feel the force, the G-forces, or the centrifugal forces acting 90 degrees to your input. And so if you went, if you tried to turn the wheel to the left like a motorcycle, you could feel it fighting you and pulling it back up. And so that would, that's how a motorcycle can stay up, is the tires are trying to pull the bike back up. So you're leaning, and the tires are pulling back, and guess what? You're in equilibrium, and it allows you to lean and maintain a lean. And so that's the gyroscopic forces. We don't have those, of course, in game. So by putting a steering system, a steering controller on there, it is essentially doing what real life would be doing. It's acting opposite to what I'm putting in the wheel. So you see a little bit of a wobble there, but it's not bad. So this is running pretty well. It just needs to be worked on with looks and features. You know, this looks like crap now, but like for those who watched like the 1950s truck, you know, you saw how that looked. That looked like a square white box. And then I go back and I fix it. This one's going to be tough to get some stuff in because, for example, I cannot screw with this back of this this wheel arch because I have my transmission going through here. This, I'm going to work on the back here. The back needs a lot of love. One thing I could do is this. I think I might do this. Let me see. So the Vice car has this. So you used to see this on some of the hatchbacks, like in the 80s, was... so they would have an inlay. So what you would do is essentially this. So you have, like, you'd have bigger inlays like that. The Vice car does this. And then you'd have your hatch lower. I don't know. Let's see how I want to do this. I could start the hatch earlier. This hatch is going to be a pain to get to look all right. I don't want to XML in a panel in there. What I could do is make this less sharp. That's a thought too. See if I can get this roof line fixed, but probably take a break here and get off for a little bit and eat. But I'm thinking I'm gonna square this out a little bit. Yeah, let's do this for now. And because I need to cut that angle of the hatch down, and I am at 18, which is the max build area. So I cannot go any further to get this flattened out. And then having it one size like this is a little weird, so I need to cut in. So kind of do it like a Ford Escort hatch. So I think what I'm going to do is we'll go like that. That's too high. And then kind of the Ford Escort had this hatch where it, you know, you had a little bit of a lip and then you had the hatch. So I'll see if I can't make that look all right. I don't want to do a ton of XML on this anyway. It's kind of like, some people spend, you know, they put so much XML on, and I kind of like to try to thematically keep it. Can you do this with regular blocks in game. That's, yeah, like that. I'm digging on that a little bit. That's kind of a better look as far as I'm concerned. Then I need to XML in a window, probably like right here. Yeah, like that. What I could do is I could do... So like this is how you had like the Ferrari Testarossa had a back window like this. Like I did this in the Vice car. So just do a flat out window like that. And that gives it a little bit more of a bumper here. And then, so of course I don't want this harsh, so let's try curving it a little bit. I'm kind of digging that. It's kind of Beetle-esque. I'm digging on that a little bit. That's not bad. And then we'll put a window here. Kind of look like that, and then... But, you know, I try to make it functional first, and then I start screwing around with, beauty after that, because the most important thing to me is it going to work? Because there's no point in continuing to work on something if it's not going to work. You have to kind of rip it apart. And so the problem I find is if you start loving the way your build looks, and then, oh my god, I have to rip something out to make it work, it's heartbreaking where it's like if you make it work first, and then as long as you don't screw up the way it works, you should be able to get that going. Like, so that, I'm digging on that look. That is a good silhouette to me. This is obnoxious in here, but I can't do anything with it because I have the transverse engine. If I can XML in a block in here to kind of to round these out, I might do that, but it's not bad. Especially, it's going to get paint. Everything looks really harsh white, and then you paint it, and it looks a lot better. So, like, this might even look better if I square this one up a little bit here. And then put an XML like that. I like that square. This here is just looking too open. Or, again, like, squaring this up, I think, is going to be better. Yeah, I'm digging on that. See, like, little things like that. You know, and again, people... Yeah. I used to make the mistake of posting pictures of my builds before like I got to the stage, and people were like, "It looks like a brick." It's like, yeah, dude, that's how I build. Is I build very brick, and then I cut into it. Where some people just start the way they want it to look at the end. I just can't like visualize what I want it to look like, and I want the mechanics to work first. And so it's like I kind of do it this way. And that was like, if you saw the 1950s truck build, that's how it was. It looked like completely, it was exactly a brick. It was like brick. And then I start putting facets in once I realize, okay, the engine's going to fit. Okay, this is how much space I have. So this could probably be, this is going to be a problem here because the window's going to come there. Let's see. I'm going to XML in a window here probably to cut in here. So that's looking all right shape-wise. So that shape is already, I'm digging on the shape. I want this to be old school. I don't want this to look new at all. If I can XML in a window that goes either, so cut from here down to there, that will be all right. Or even cut it just here. But, you know, I don't mind that either, the flat. And then, so, seating-wise, seats are going to go here. You're going to have a 1 footwell, that's fine. Seat back, I'm having an issue with here to get the seat back in on this one. I have to push this forward one, which isn't the end of the world. That's going to move the angular speed 1 forward, but I think that's fine. We're not going to have a problem with that. And again, a lot of these, like, you know, you don't have to worry about your feet clipping into those things. It's not going to cause any game problems. And then fix the seat here. And then these are just going to get seat backs here. And then the hatch will be over there. We can even put some rescue equipment in here. But essentially, seat back's going to go here. And then you often, like on my Ford Escort, when I first learned to drive, you had like a shelf there. So, kind of, you know, it's coming along. I think it looks proportionally pretty good. I don't mind the squareness of these front wheel wells because, like, this is giving us a little bit of shaping back. I would like to try to XML in a block in here, but I have to be able to put it right here. So let's try to grab that now, see if I can do it. Where is it? So, like, grab this. But it's not going to fit in on the other side. So that's the problem, is I have to make sure I can fit these in on both sides. So like this is like, you know, I'm starting to cut into things that I absolutely need. So that's a problem to get that fixed. See, like that looks good as a wheel well, but I need to find a way to get that frickin' in there. So that's a stress there. You know, to try to get that in there. So I'll have to figure that out. Like, so let me see. So like here, I can put it in on this side, but this side has the pump, and I can't lose that pump. If I could put it in the center, which I can't, I could stretch it all the way across. I could put it where this pipe is, but I can't do that. So it's tough. It's tough to get some of these XMLs in and not screw up other parts of the build. Like there, I have in active arrow, which I could cut out some active arrow for this. And I could leave just the back one square, so let's put that there. Let's go over here. So it's like this sort of stuff is like, yeah, I could put this in. So that's why I don't like worrying about looks too early, is it's like, I have more important stuff to make sure it functions first. And I don't want things clipping through. I don't like that XML clip. Like, you know, people are quick to jump in, oh, just XML this. It's like, yeah, but then I see it clipping through and it bothers me. So it's like, oftentimes I'd rather it not clip in. You know, like that fixes those wheel wells up, makes them look a little bit better. But it's like over here, I have a pipe here that I need for fuel. So can I move that? I don't know. You know, I could go down to a single fuel tank. You know, I think my RPS is low enough. So like little stuff like that, it would, yeah, it does look better. But it's like I have to cut into things a bunch to make it. So like that wheel well definitely 100% looks better. But I have to try to deal with it to get it to work. You know, Reason 900, I don't want suspension either. Suspension is going to push into the wheel wells and clip. I hate anything that clips, I do not want. You know, so I hate clippage. Yeah, like a Saab 900. My brother had a Saab like this. Yeah, I think he had just, yeah, this is like the old school 70s Saab. But it's coming along, so I think that's looking good. You know, it's you know, it takes a little while, and I don't want to go into, like, I want this short. Like, look at my player character right there. Like, Vice Car is enormous. Like, I wanted this to be small. I like that Bigman put in, like, the length restriction was tough for me. That was something that, you know, it was tough to get that where I wanted it, you know. Doing, like, a Miata front, no bumper, you know, so those restrictions are cool. Like, even the hatch, like, I could make this car look really slick by putting a trunk on it. But it's supposed to be a hatch. So, like, one hatch we could do here is... come on. Grabbing every button but the one I want. So, like, I could put in... You know, like, the Escort had, like, a composite hatch almost where it was, like... It was flat and it had a hatch on it. So, like, the Escort was very much... You know, like, all the way down to here. And so, like, it angled differently at the bottom, like this. That's how the Ford Escort's hatch was. Like, I had an 88 Escort. And so, like, the 88 Escort was more like this. And then, let's go cut you there, and then go... I had one, I should have just copied it. Let's see. And then this will give me a little light space, like something like that. You know, so it's kind of, you know, I have some things I need to think about how I want to do. Yeah, but this, like I said, this looks a little bit more sob. You know, so I could flatten that out. So there are some thoughts of things to do. This kind of looks Beetle Sob. Looks kind of like, you know, I'd say Beetle and Sob is what it's most looking like. And I want it to be old school. I want some, you know, round gauges. I don't want modern nonsense. I want it to be an old school build, you know. So it's running really well. You know, 143 miles an hour is not bad. It has pretty good stability. If I was really a goon, I would cheat in a little bit of rear steer, but I don't think I want to do that. Do we dare put in a little bit of rear steer? I think not. I'm curious. Let's try something really quick. Because I don't want to go unrealistic. Like, a lot of people love to do that, and it's fine. It's just not me. Like, I want to keep it within the realm of possibility. Like I said, you know, you could make this thing perfectly steer at, you know, 1,000,000 miles an hour if you just put in some fins, some rudder fins, essentially, you know. But I'm not interested in that, really. Let's see. I need 2 of these, so let's try something, see how ridiculous this is. So this might not want to operate properly with it being inverted. But let's see. Like there are these sorts of cheats, not cheats, but you know what I mean. That you can kind of put in that, you know, that would give you a little bit of an advantage that you'd never be able to do in real life. You know, that you can do in game, and so that's sometimes fun and cool, but sometimes it's gross too. So like, let's see here. So like a little bit of rear steer on there. Let's try it. Like that's too much, but let's see. See, it's doing the wiggle now because some of it's backwards from the PIDs. The PID's kind of freaking out, but like, look at that. See how much better I can steer now? Just with that little bit of cheat. Like that little thing there, just a tiny bit of rear steer, and now this thing is gonna corner like a maniac, you know? It is a competition, so like, let's go back in there and limit these to 0.1. Do half of that. So a little bit of rear steer there, just, you know, added. It made it so that I don't understeer at all times, because right now the car wants to understeer. And so essentially what this is simulating is IRL. You would be able to slide the ass out a little bit, and we can't really do that. I could cut the grip down. I could cut the grip on the back down to, like, say 1.5, and actually give it a little bit of an ability to slide the ass out. So ignore the wiggle. That's going to be fixed later. But like a little bit of rear steer here is like look at that. See how much tighter I'm able to turn with some rear steer? And like, even that's too much. Like, see how much tighter this is able to turn now with that little bit of rear steer? So like, we could even go lower than that. So let's do 0.5. Like, even just this little bit of rear steer, I bet you, helps us. So instead of having the tires slide out, which is going to cut down on my ability to grip when I'm going forward. What the hell's going on here? Why can't I press F? There we go. I can put a little rear steer in, and that's essentially what that's simulating, is that I'm sliding the ass in the car. See, like there's an imperceptible amount of rear steer on there. That's going to be a wobble. I have to invert the wobble, so that's fine. I get that wobble because I'm inverting the numbers, and so the PID's not doing a great job, but so like that's a little bit better, but it's not ridiculous. So like understanding the mechanics of why a car drifts well, you can do little things like this, like put a tiny bit of rear steer in. So the other thing we could do is, for example, let's save this. And let's actually, I need to make sure I open up the right one. So I need to grab vehicles. What the hell's going on here? Let's open this. What the hell is it, man? Data, vehicles. Why is this giving me folders in a weird way? I don't know. Let's see, which one did I save it to? I saved it to Bigman's challenge, so I think that's the one I'm opening. Bigman's challenge, yep, okay, so that updated, fine. So grip factor, let's find a grip factor of 2. I can't tell which wheel's which, though, so what I want to do is here, let's do this now. Let's set these to 0.99s. Don't spawn it, you scum. Save it. And then XML. And then I want to find 0.99. Where is it? I have to find right here. Parentheses 0.99, 0.99. And instead of 2, let's go to 1.5. And that's going to let the back slide more. And so now the back, only the back's going to slide more. And so that will allow me to get around turns a little bit better because I'm cutting down my grip for slidage. You know, so that's essentially what the rear steering was doing, is just allowing that back to kind of come around more. So let's see, we have half the grip, or quarter of the grip off the backs now. So I need a little bit more rear steer probably, but like that is, as you can see, that's helping with getting around the turns. The other thing we could do too is, let's say we want to get the ass out a little bit more, put some weight blocks back there. See if that helps us to get the ass turned around. So these are all little things you can do to try to get the performance where you want it. Now, you know, that ass is going to want to come around more because the weight's back there. But you got to be worried about spinning out, so. See how much easier it is to turn with that little bit of ass weight? So it's like little things like that help you get the car to behave how you want it. You want a drift king, a little bit of ass bias like that. Like, see, look at that. So that's just putting 4 weight blocks back there, you know. So just bias it towards the ass just a little bit. And that's stuff you get in real life too. You get oversteer or understeer. If the too much weight in the ass, that's oversteer. You go further in the turn than you want. You slide out, you skid, and then understeer is what we were doing before, where you overrun your turn. And so just that tiny little bit of weight there you know, and some other factors. Changing the grip a little bit can help, and then putting rear steer in. And now it's more fun to drive. I can really let's keep it as tight as possible. So like that is we're gonna more likely to lose control. Now we have less grip in the back, and we have the weight. So, you know, you do have to be careful though. You're gonna get to the point where it might slide out, where before it was nowhere near sliding out on us. Like there, I'm starting to get really slippery. But I can do some cool stuff if I'm really on my game. But if I'm not perfect, I'm gonna slide out. And so I have to think about, you know, Bigman's gonna be running the car. And if Bigman's running the car and doesn't know exactly how to drive my car, which of course he won't, he didn't design it, and you know, he might not have the driving experience I have, you know, he's not going to know, okay, well this is the appropriate way to go into the turn, and then, so you kind of have to make it so that it's approachable so that anybody can drive it well, and so you have to be careful. You don't want to make it too challenging where, yep, you're going to lose the ass if you're over rambunctious, so you want it to be a little bit conservative on it, because you want somebody to be able to drive it, not be like, oh, this thing's unstable, like somebody's video the other day, you know, just they weren't driving the car right. And then like this one, I took a better turn, I went out wider, starting to power through the apex, but you notice I'm getting a lot more wheel slip now, and the car is a lot less controllable because, you know, so the whole thing is the ability to change direction is all due to instability. The more unstable something is, the easier it is to change direction. The more stable it is, the harder it is to change direction. Well, you know, a race car, you want to be inherently unstable. You know, an airplane, you want certain inherent instability, or else you'll never be able to bank or roll or yaw. You know, so it's tough. All right, we'll see you later there, Connor. See, Chick, just catch up and chat. Glad you're enjoying it, Connor. Well, why did I make it backwards? No, thank you. Yeah, so for example, let's take off that steering in the rear, and let's try it without steering in the rear and see how it behaves. All right, so I've already cut down the grip in the rear by 25%. And so adding a little bit of ass weight here. So like you saw, if you were watching earlier, you know, you saw I had a little bit of ass bias and it was too much, so I went to 50-50. And now I'm back to trying to put a little ass bias in there. Look at that. That's better. That's nice. That is turning right where I want it to. So just that little bit of weight in the back is helping. So a little bit less grip and the weight is making this a little bit more dynamic, and I can turn it right where I want. So I want to go right on the edge of that sand, and I want to stay within these close lines. So turn in, downshift, a little bit of oversteer there. I don't have any brakes, so I can't add brakes to slow us down. So I have to use just the transmission to slow us down. I haven't added brakes yet. So I need to come off the accelerator earlier because I don't have brakes. So off the accelerator, downshift, power in, downshift again, upshift, 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 off the accelerator, downshift, coming in, up, downshift, downshift, downshift again. Because this engine's so small, I really have to downshift a lot of gears. That's the other thing that I get afraid sometimes with, you know, like the video I keep picking on the other day was, you know, you need to know the particular vehicle, and you need to know that, you know, if it has a big powerful engine, you don't need to downshift as much. For example, my motorcycle has more horsepower than my car does, and you know, so with that, I can be in a higher gear and still take off no problem because it has enough torque that I don't need to downshift. When you have a tiny little motor, you need to rev it up high to get the torque. And so you need to downshift a lot to be able to unburden the engine to be able to rev it up. And so you need to do a lot more shifting. And you really need to wring its neck, get it up to peak RPM. Like this one, I shift a lot slower than I do in the Vice car. The Vice car has the motor's 4 times the size of this. And so I really need to wring the neck. I need to get it up to high RPM before I shift. Or else I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna lug. I really need to, like, I'd shift down 3 gears in this car. In Vice, I probably shift down 1 or 2. But you can see how with just dropping that grip on that rear a little bit, it's gonna help me to get the ass out, a little bit of mass in the back. So that really helps. All right, let's bring this back. And I'll take a little break here in a second, but we'll pull some parts on this. I want to make a video today too. So, all right, where are we at here? All right, so let's take these fins here, which I'm gonna have to fix. So I can't go up with them, can I? Okay, let's do this. Let's delete that. Let's delete these. Let's grab these. And so let's go. I want hollows in the bottom. All right, and then, so this is 40 weight we put in the back here, so, let's see. Battle cannon piece right there. That's the wrong one. You gotta do the right one or else it doesn't work. All right, so that will replace this weight here, and then I need to re-arrow these. Okay. So let's try this. If this slides too much, what I can do is grip those tires back up, which is ideally what I want. So I want to get more weight in there. Nice, that's sliding really nicely now with that extra weight in the back. See how nice that drifts now. Cut in. So like you see how I'm flicking the tail? I'm doing a Scandi flick to get the tail to come out. That's something that, like, for example, if you don't know how this car is supposed to operate, you know, or how to drive a car properly, you know, you may miss that, okay, Scandi flick it into the turn. See, I've downshifted 3 times. That's the other thing, is the person, you know, doing the testing may not know, okay, you need to downshift 3 times, you know, and so it's kind of tough, you know, to, you know, so you kind of need to make it so that anybody can, so I've downshifted 3 times there, upshift, upshift. So I don't want to upshift till it hits around 25 RPS. There we go, upshift. Now downshift, 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 because I need the torque back to get the tires to move again. And if you don't know you need to downshift that much, you get into problems. So, but you see, this is working beautifully now. So, like, this is super stable. There's a downshift. There's an upshift. Upshift. No upshift yet. Upshift. Downshift. Into the turn. Downshift. Downshift. Downshift, because we got so slow. So I need an extra downshift because I slowed down too much. And we're on a last upshift. I want to go, I'm going to flick it in. Downshift. 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 Upshift. 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 So this is another reason why people who love automatic transmissions and take them to bed with them at night is like, dude, you need to know what the vehicle's doing. You need to know, okay, I'm losing my ass on this turn. I'm going to probably need to grab an extra downshift to account for the slow speed. And the automatic, it can do that to a certain extent, but this gives you the freedom to really operate the car how it needs to. For example, I upshifted there and I downshifted immediately again because I realized that I wasn't going to have the torque to keep the ass out. And it's like, that's why a manual, why race car drivers want a friggin' manual, is they need to be able to consistently change how much torque they're running to get the car to perform how they want. So it's like downshift, turn in, downshift, upshift, downshift, upshift. And I'm feathering the shifts there to keep the torque right where I wanted it. And no brakes. I have no brakes on this car right now. I don't need the brakes. I'm using the engine to brake me. Downshift, 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 because I slow down too much. Upshift. 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 So as I screw up these turns, I need to do a different number of shifts, which the automatic will never know. So Scandi flick in, downshift. Up, screw that one up, downshift again, upshift. 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 So as I screw up, I need different number of ups and downs. Downshift. downshift. So I only needed 2 there because I had a good drift, upshift. So that's the sort of thing where it's again why people are like, oh, why didn't you make an automatic? Because dude, automatic cannot do what I can do. You know, and as you get good with a manual, you don't want an automatic because you're like, it doesn't know what's going on. I do. And so I say, oh my God, I'm losing the ass. I know I'm going to lose speed. Okay, I need to do an extra downshift to get the extra torque I need to get out of that, to get out of there. So stuff like that, it's why I loathe manual automatic transmissions. Check out this video. It was a live stream. I built the transmission, or one of the transmissions I released on the workshop. Let me find that. It's not time-stamped, but it's, yeah, you'll have to find it. So here is the, here's a transmission live stream. I built this chassis that I released. I go through that. I'm trying to make a transmission tutorial, but I have to make it coherent for people, so it's going to be a little bit of work to get that one to a reasonable point. Yeah, well, you know, you do have sequential shifters. You know, and so of course you could skip a gear. Well, really, you know, let's say generally you're only going to be skipping 1 gear at most, because, you know, if you look at the shift, for example, like you're going to way over rev the engine if you try to shift down 2 gears. If you shift down 1 gear, you're going to be able to rev up to match it high enough. And so you can shift down 1 gear. So when I double tap, when I go tap tap, that is essentially me skipping a gear. It does put it in the gear for a fraction of a second. But if I double tap the gears like I was there, or even triple tapping the gears, it is as though I'm skipping the gear, because it's in the gear for like a fraction of a second, because I literally went tap, tap, tap. It will make the switch in game, but it's not going to actually get settled in there, so it's almost as though you're skipping gears. You know, like in a tractor, for example, you could theoretically go from 1 to 5, but you're never going to be able to get the RPM to match to do it. You just can't do it. You know, so like even in the tractor, which the tractor, I shift without a clutch. And so when you shift without a clutch, you have to do all the engine matching yourself. And so I can go 10 to 8. I cannot go 10 to 7. I would have to redline the engine. And so, you know, there's no way for me to go 10-7. So I can go 10-8. Because, so say for example, I'm in the tractor, I'm going to merge on the highway. Or I'm getting on the ramp for the highway. Let's say I have a car next to me, right? And I have to slow down extra, all right, because they have the right of way. So in the tractor, when I shift gears, I have to take my foot off of the brake, because I need to use my brake foot for the accelerator to rev up the engine. And so, you know, I can't brake at the same time. So one strategy I do is, say you're in 10th gear, you're in top gear, right? You're coming up to the car there, and you need to slow down extra. So what you would do is you would keep your foot on the brake, and normally I would downshift from 10 to 9 at 1,000 RPM, okay? So what I do is I then let it slow down to 800. So normally 1,000, I go down an extra 200 to 8, okay? And then what I would do is, so let's say I was going to shift from 10 to 9, I would wait to get down to 1,000, and then I would rev the engine up as I pull it out of gear up to 1,400, and I'd push it into 9. It would slide right in. Now, because I'm going from 10 to 8, what I do is I slow down to 800, and then I rev up to 1,600, and I put it into 8. If I was trying to go down to 7, I'd have to rev up to like 22, 2,300, and I would be redlining the engine to get it down into 7. And you don't want to be doing that, especially with a diesel. So, you know, it's too much mass. And so you're pretty much going to be able to go 1 gear. So it's like you could go 10 to 8. You know, you don't want to skip one going up. It's better to grab the gear quick. Like the only time you can skip one going up is if you're going down a steep hill, because you can then rev the engine up, and you have the essentially you're losing resistance because gravity is helping you. Yeah, but there's no real reason to skip one going up. You know, you can skip going up if you're bobtail. You don't have a trailer. You could go like, you could go in first and go in third, but it's better still grab. You know, this is how fast you can shift in a track. You go first, second, third, fourth, fifth. That's how fast you can go on a tractor. So there's no point in me going first, third. You know, it's better just go first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and then downshift and go 10. Rev high, grab 8. You know, that's when downshifting is when you're going to be skipping gears, at least on a tractor. All right, guys, so I'm going to save this up. I enjoyed working on this. This has been fun so far getting this done. You know, it's a 2-week challenge. I think the looks are starting to get there. I think I have the general shape, but you can kind of see my methodology from this thing was just literally a box. And then I made sure the mechanics worked. Once the mechanics worked, I was then able to start working on looks. Looks are way down the road because we could have got to a point where I had to move the engine all around again. And so, you know, that's a problem. You know, I would really love to be able to put in, I would love to be able to fix these wheel wells. Like, this is going to be a nightmare over here. I should be able to move this and get these wheel wells in the back to look right. This one here, I'm not going to be able to put something there just because I don't have space for that, for a block in there. I could, you know, I could stretch one all the way across, but it has to go in right here. And so I have to move, I theoretically could move my air and put it here. And if I move my air and my battery, I could put a block across and get those fixed. I have to move my fuel to get these two in. So I can do it. It's just a little bit of work. But, all right, guys, so I'm going to take a break. I'll see you later. Thank you for watching. I'll definitely be, probably make a video later. I want to get some videos out, and then I'll probably be on tonight with some BattleBit. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you later.